We all know hurricane season is here as we have all of our eyes wondering if things will come this way this season. Well, we've got a relationship we want to tell you about. PepsiCo Beverages North America has actually joined forces with a veteran-led humanitarian organization known as Team Rubicon to give local Tampa residents go-to safety tips to make sure, well, we are all ready. Let's go ahead and welcome to the show today, Son Walker, Director of Operations at Team Rubicon's South Branch. And from what I can tell, you are no stranger to helping those who have been affected by hurricanes in the past. Welcome to the show today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure to be here. As you know, every year people are impacted by hurricanes and tropical storms. And some, they forego hurricane safety measures, putting themselves at risk and being negatively impacted by hurricanes, tornadoes, or flooding. So one thing we want to make sure that pre-storm preparation can prevent dangerous situations or negative outcomes. So what's great is that Team Rubicon has been asked by our partners at PepsiCo to educate the community, not only the community, but their employees to prepare before, during, and after disasters.
Okay, let's talk about getting prepared though, Son. It's one of those things where you think you're ready, but then if we ever do end up in a cone, I know I personally find myself thinking, oh no, I still need to do 5 other things to get ready. What would you share to people to make sure we are ready and don't have those last minute to-do lists?
Yeah, you're right. It's so many things that you have to do to prepare. What I want to do is provide a few of those things. So when preparing for a storm related, it's important to really focus on the must-haves like food and water. So we want to make sure that you kind of stock up on non-perishable foods, canned goods, baby formula, and case of water like you can't go wrong with Aquafina. And if you're looking for those great electrolytes, you got to tap into Gatorade. That's definitely what we use when we're out there on strike teams. We know that, during this time when people are trying to get all these items, supplies at stores really run out. So you want to make sure that you stock up. We're at the beginning of hurricane season, so please stock up on those necessities. Then you look at medication. With the medication, we know that people have either over-the-counter or prescription drugs. You want to make sure you keep those in a safe spot. Before the storm comes, you want to make sure that you put those items in a sealable bag. Help protect them. Next, we want to make sure that all important cell phone, computers, we want to make sure those things are charged. Any necessary communication devices like mobile phones, computers should be fully charged. Lastly, make sure you have your emergency kits packed and ready. Things like first aid kits, battery, flashlights, multi-tools, battery packs. And sometimes if things are hit very hard, we want to recommend that you use satellite phones.
I'm curious. I was getting, to know you and your background, and we've already shared how you've been able to help people, right after a storm hits. What about in the midst of the storm? What are some things for people to keep in mind when you find yourself, having to seek shelter and bear down, if you will?
Yes, you're right. In the midst of the storm, first and foremost, you want to understand the severity of the situation, understand the severity of the storm. I recommend people to really register and receive emergency alerts and warning from your community. And you want to do this really before losing power. Next, limit how much you use the tech device. As I said before, you're going to need those. So make sure they're fully charged. Lastly, make sure you check up on your neighbors, especially the elderly, the disabled, and people that live alone. Have a connection with your neighbors during a storm could be the difference between life and death.
Since you brought up neighbors, staying in touch too after the storm passes, say, those hours after you think it's safe to go back outside, what are things that people need to remember? Because I know some situations are not safe. Say we do want to go check on our neighbors the first second that the storm has passed. What should we remember?
Yes, just a few things you want to make sure that you look for. You want to make sure that you're keeping out away from electrical equipment and walking through those flood waters. This could lead to injury, illness, and in worst case, death. You want to make sure that you stay tuned to the news and local resources from companies like PepsiCo that comes to support local communities with food, hydration, connectivity. And if you need aid, you want to make sure there's plenty of free resources like us at Team Rubicon. Everything that we provide to communities is free of charge. If you have to go out and you seek resources, make sure that you check for IDs, make sure you check for credentials. Unfortunately, there are plenty of people out there that are looking for people to either manipulate or to price gouge. So make sure you look for those free sources. Ask your neighbors, again, who do they recommend?
All good pointers, all good things to remember. Any parting words before we say goodbye today?
Definitely. A couple of things. Hope for the best, but be smart. Prepare for the worst. Prior planning will prevent any type of poor results during a hurricane season. Remember, stay informed. Make sure you have the key essentials. And as we said before, be a good neighbor by collaborating with your community.
Oh, good stuff. Again, these are all things that maybe we've heard before, but it never hurts to be reminded of this time of year. San, thank you so much for your time today and for joining us.
Hey, thank you for giving me the opportunity to join you guys today.
Take care. Stay safe.